You're listening to the Life Friendly Business Podcast. I'm your host, Erin Thomas Wong, business mentor, author, and founder of the Cocoon VIP membership, empowering women around the world to build businesses on their terms. If you want to grow and scale a business that works in harmony with your family and your life, this podcast is for you. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the Life Friendly Business Podcast for Season 4. I'm Erin Thomas Wong. I'm a small business mentor helping women to build and scale their business in a life-friendly way. Now, I left off on episode 50 talking about the need to simplify. This is something that I was experiencing myself, and I was quite aware that there were other people feeling like this as well. And I've had some great feedback and people following up with me afterwards, after the episode, asking how things are going with that. So in this episode, I'm just going to update you with a little bit of behind the scenes of my business. Last year was my best year yet. And even though I was absolutely loving everything that I do, that was part of the problem. Over the years, I had launched new things and I had this whole suite of offers. And I was finding that my focus was split quite a lot of the time. And also I was constantly promoting something. And, you know, I really like to stick to an even balance of providing value and promotion. But it was getting a little bit ridiculous because every month I had multiple things to promote and it just felt like it all got a bit too much. Just before Christmas, I had COVID, and that really kind of gave me this COVID hangover right through January as well, where I just started questioning how I was running the business, the things that I was offering in my business. And it's been quite an emotional journey, really, because I think that, you know, over the last 7 years, my business has really evolved and I've created this amazing community of clients. And, you know, I genuinely love what I do and I'm really good at the work-life balance. You know, that's the whole point of Life Friendly Business. So it wasn't that I was feeling burned out or like I was overworking, but I really felt like I wanted to simplify. And what happened really is it kind of was out of my hands, because I think after being ill, like my brain was just desperately trying to work this out. How could I change things? And I remember saying to my friends, like, I was just going up and down on this roller coaster, and they were like, you just need to allow yourself to switch off. And, you know, all the things that I say to people, let the snow globe settle. But my brain was absolutely determined to work this out. And all this kind of emotion that was going on really culminated when I went to a local networking event, and I was holding all of this stuff in, and I'm quite an open book, so it's quite hard for me to do that. But I was speaking to a lovely woman there and explaining that my business was going through changes and I was thinking about doing things differently. And she said to me, I can sense a lot of sadness within you. And the word sadness just literally opened up this Pandora's box, and I burst out crying in the middle of a networking event. And literally it was like this release, because I hadn't been able to really pinpoint why I was so emotional about this. Like, I wanted to make changes, but why was it feeling so hard? I knew that, you know, I don't really like change in some ways. I'm a Tory, and I think that's one thing, we get quite stuck in our ways. But I didn't realize until she used the word sadness that that's what was going on for me. And I literally had to go and cry in the toilets, try and get myself together. And I came back and I had all like tear stream red cheeks, and tried to get on with the rest of the networking event. But it was really, really hard. But having that conversation with her did give me that kind of insight into why this was feeling so hard. Because the fact is that I want to simplify, but I don't actually want to let go of any of the things that I'm doing. So I've been working out a way that I can kind of streamline the way that I'm doing things, let go of some things energetically, and also create a way to work with people that is simple, that it's simple for me to run and it's simple for them as well. So I'm doing this little update episode because I did have so many people speaking to me about it and resonating with this. And, this is a work in progress. This is not an episode of, right, this is what I did. But, over the last 5 months, I've been taking these steps towards deciding how things are going to look. And I have created and launched a new offer, which I would like to be the forefront of my business. But with the way things are right now, it's not quite at that point yet. So if you look at my website, for example, you'll probably go, oh my God, she's still got loads of things going on. So it's all a work in progress. And I'm sharing this honestly with you because these things don't change overnight. And, when you want to make big changes in your business, there's lots of things that you need to consider. And you also need to sit with that feeling for a bit before you make any big changes. And also keeping it completely real, my income has now dipped quite a lot because all these offers that I was selling and all these things that were splitting my focus, well, they were actually bringing in money. And now I'm not doing them. My income has taken a bit of a battering, but I know that going forward, the way that I'm trying to structure things is a lot more scalable. So I'm definitely thinking about the long-term goal here. So when I've been trying to work out what is it like, what is this core offer that I want to create, that I want it to be a very clear call to action to people. If they want to work with me, this is how you can come and work with me. I went to my first ever moon circle. So this is held by Stevie, Stars by Stevie. Do check her out on Instagram. And we went to this moon circle and it was like in a yoga studio. It was beautiful, like candles all laid out, crystals and tarot cards. And basically we had to choose a card that like we were drawn to, and then she gave us a reading and she kind of talked about the different things that we were going to be focusing on. And what was really interesting is that she really picked up that this was a big shift for me and that something was changing, something was coming. And what she said the cards were saying was that this is about me getting seen more. At first, I was a bit confused because I was like, well, I'm not, I've worked a lot on my own visibility and I'm much more confident, now I'm going out and I'm doing keynote speaking and all those kind of things. Like, that's okay. But she was like, no, it's about being seen more. You need more people to see you, more people see you. And she was getting really animated. And I was like, okay. And then I was thinking, well, actually, I have got a little bit comfortable with my world and the community that I've built. And I know that I need to be reaching more people. So maybe that's it. So I had this lovely experience doing this moon circle and felt reassured that, yes, something big is happening here. This is a big shift and that's okay. And, it's the right thing for me to be going through this. And then a couple of days later, I was walking on the beach and I was thinking about everything that had happened and, what I'd been thinking over the last couple of months and thinking about what do I actually do? Like how do I actually help people? And suddenly it just all clicked into place. And I realized that this isn't just about me getting seen by more people. It's about me helping other people get seen by more people, because the common thread of everything that I've done over the last 7 years with this business has been helping people to feel more confident to put themselves out there and therefore get their business seen by more people. So it was this real light bulb moment walking along the beach. And I remember sending a voice memo on Voxer to my marketing mentor and saying, I think I've got it. I've got the idea. It's all about visibility. And it literally took like 2 or 3 months of feeling so foggy headed, trying to work out, my brain just not switching off, what I was going to do next. And so I basically decided I wanted to create this new thing. And I really enjoy working more closely with people where I can actually, hear about how things are going on a daily basis with them and see the action that they're taking. Like that's what I find really satisfying. And that's what I love about the Evolve Mastermind. But the Evolve Mastermind is really capped at 5 or 6 people. So in terms of scalability, it's not at the point where I would want it to be in terms of being able to service a lot more people. So I love Evolve, and Evolve is still going to continue. When I have people inquiring, I'm going to wait till there's enough people to do a pod, and then we'll start a pod. And the idea of Evolve Mastermind is that it's about all areas of your business. Whereas my new thing is just going to focus on visibility, keeping it simple. And with the format of it as well, I'm really over doing live launches. I find launching really emotionally quite tough, emotionally draining. And I don't want to be lurching from launch to launch and from promotion to promotion. So I was like, I want to create it in an evergreen way so that people can join at any time. So that's what I've been working on for the last few months, and I've now launched it. I launched it first of all to my Cocoon members and then did a launch externally. And I've got 13 women working through this mastermind with me. And in terms of like the simplicity, the idea is that there's a 7-step framework for them to work through to help get them ready and create their visibility plan. And then we move on to a monthly mastermind call where they can benefit from the hive mind and go out in breakout rooms and all support each other. And a monthly CEO call, which I really wanted to add in because, we need to be taking time every month to be checking in where we are and whether the visibility strategies that we're using are working. Are we tracking them? Are we tracking the stats? But also, how does it feel? What are we enjoying? What are we not enjoying? What doesn't feel good? And then we've got our Facebook community as well. So it's a very simple structure and it's not overwhelming in terms of calls every day or every week. It's just 2 calls a month. So far, it's fantastic to see these women because all of them have said the reason they're joining is because they know that if they can get out to more people, then they're going to be able to help more people. They know that what they do is helping people because they're getting that feedback already. They're getting great testimonials, and it's just a case of reaching more people and bringing more people into our world. And what's happening is when I'm speaking to people, and this is, when I had this kind of clarity, this moment of like, yes, this is what people need, is the fact that when I'm mentoring people about getting themselves out there and getting their business visible, they know what they need to do. They know that if they start using video or if they start doing leadership posts on LinkedIn or thought leadership stuff on LinkedIn, they know that they're going to reach more people, but they're not doing it. And why are they not doing it? Well, one of the big reasons is the mental mindset gremlins that are creeping in, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, the lack of confidence, the inner critic telling themselves they're no good at tech, they're no good at social media. And so there's this gap between what they know and what they actually do. And so that's why I wanted to create this visibility mastermind, this framework to be able to help them actually take action. It's still very early days. So, I'm recording this at the end of May. And, I really feel like this is a great format and I'm getting really good feedback from the women in the group. And so my plan really is for this Visibility Mastermind to be the core offer. So when you see me giving a free webinar or on the podcast or whatever, I'm going to be drawing attention to the Visibility Mastermind. I am not closing my membership. That is one thing that I had to really consider very hard, which I think created a lot of this emotion inside because I love the membership. I love the women in the cocoon. It's such a special place where people genuinely can talk about the struggles that they're having and get the support that they need and get the inspiration and the training that they need in order to move forward with their business. And I did not want to close that, but I had to go through that whole kind of process of how much time I'm spending working on it and how much financial gain it's bringing in. And actually one of the big controversial decisions that I did make is that I was going to reduce the price of the Cocoon membership because I wanted to pull back on the live calls that I was doing, because I was doing like 4 to 5 calls a month. And because there were so many calls as well, the attendance was really scattered. And I just thought it doesn't feel like a good use of time for me and for them. Like, I think that I want to help people simplify what we're doing, so let's consolidate. So I decided to change it to one monthly call, which has got networking and Q&A with me as well. So I have been making changes. It's still going on. I've launched now my new core offer, but it's going to take some time this year. I mean, it's going to take some time getting some testimonials and case studies, but also working out how the website will now look, how these different things will work. So that's my update. Thank you so much to those of you who've reached out and kind of said to me that you really relate to it. And it means so much when you do reach out, because this is the weird thing about doing a podcast. You don't actually know who's listening. So please do reach out at Life Friendly Biz or drop me an email at erin@lifefriendlybusiness.com and let me know how things are going this year with your business and whether you're on a mission to simplify as well, because this is something that we always need to be questioning ourselves on, is like, are we doing things in a way that feels as easy as it can be? Are we doing things in a way that feels good to us? Are we protecting our boundaries to have this life-friendly business? But is the business working for us? That's a really big question. Are you actually making the money that you need? And if you're not, you need that CEO time to be like questioning what's working and what's not, and just make some tweaks. It doesn't have to be as black and white as it's not working at all or it is working. There's so much grey area with running a business, but we need to have time to think about this stuff, have that blue sky thinking time. And it was kind of enforced with me. It wasn't that I planned this year to be like that, but basically, it was just like, okay, Erin, your brain is just going to be full of thoughts circling around your head 24 hours a day about how you can change things. That is my update so far. I will do another update later on in the year where hopefully I'll say to you, yes, this is all smooth and streamlined and it's all working amazingly well. But it's been an interesting year, but I'm really happy with where I am now. So this podcast series, this season is going to all be about visibility, because now this is my hot topic and it is something that we all need to be prioritizing. So I am going to be inviting on guests to talk about their stories of visibility or how they help other people with visibility. And also they're going to be sharing the top 3 mistakes that people are making and how to overcome them. So I'm really excited about this season. I hope that you enjoy it. And in the next episode, I'm going to be talking to you about the 3 keys to sustainable visibility. I look forward to seeing you next week. Did you know that your chances of success are 7 times greater with peer support? Deep down, I bet you know what you need to be doing to build your audience. I bet these things have been on your list for a long time, but other things keep piling on top, which feel more important at that moment. But the longer you put off growing your audience, the more likely you are to run out of lead. And building an audience is not a quick thing. It takes time. The right time to do it isn't when you're stressing out about where the next client's coming from. It's when you're doing okay and want to keep building from there. Through the Visibility Mastermind, I have created a framework to help you take consistent, focused action. With the support of other women doing the same, you'll be more likely to stick to your plan and actually start to see the results. It's time to take action. Are you with me? Apply now at lifefriendlybusiness.com/visibility.